Hello students, in this video lecture I will explain you about the chemical equation and how to balance a chemical equation. Okay, so what is a chemical equation? A chemical equation is a symbolic representation of a chemical reaction. Okay, using symbols and chemicals formula of the substances involved in the reaction. So what is a chemical equation? A chemical equation means where we use symbols in order to show a chemical reaction. For example, here only you can see we are using symbols, right? Potassium carbonate, hydrogen chloride. Okay, so these are all chemical symbols, right? So the term equation is used because in ordinary chemical change no new atoms are created and no new atoms disappear. Like symbols and formula, chemical equation convey both qualitative and quantitative meaning. Okay. Now this is important. A symbol, a chemical equation, it gives us information qualitative as well as quantitative. Now what is qualitative here? For example, in this reaction, you see what quality of the reaction you understand from this. This is a reaction between the salt K2CO3 is a salt and HCl is a acid, right? So this is known as qualitative. Qualitative means where you understand about the pattern of the reaction, whether it is a neutralization reaction, whether it is a displacement reactions or any other form. Okay, that is a qualitative aspect of a chemical reaction. Okay, but what is the quantitative? Quantitative means where an equation gives us the information of the quantity of the matter involved, right? So whenever we speak about the quantity of the matter involved in chemistry, we speak about moles, right? So this also gives us information about the quantity, okay, that how much quantity, how many number of molecules or how many moles of atoms or molecules are taking part in a chemical reaction. Okay, now writing a chemical equation. How to write a chemical equation? In a chemical change, the substance which react are called the reactant and the substance produced are called the product. Okay, so in a chemical reaction, the substance which react, they are known as reactant and they are written always in the left hand side. Yes, here also you can see. Okay, in all these reaction, these are the reactants. Okay, so they are always written at the left hand side, and in the front we write, or the right hand side we will write the products. Okay, so reactant react to produce product. Now let us go through some informations about the chemical equation. Number one, the symbols and formula of the reactants are written on the left hand side with the plus sign. Now, plus means adding. Okay, so for example, here hydrogen is reacted with chlorine or hydrogen react with chlorine. So how will you write in the form of a chemical equation? Yes, for that we will add or we will write a plus sign. Plus sign shows how many number of reactants you are using or adding up. Okay. The symbols and formula of the products are written on the right hand side with plus sign between them, and the symbols are written with the plus sign. In the product also you will see we use plus sign. Okay, so plus signs help us to show that what are the number of reactant and what are the number of products actually we are using in a chemical reaction. An arrow sign is inserted between the reactant and the product. The arrow point from the reactant to the product. So this is an arrow sign. Okay, so we insert it in order to show that the reactant is getting converted into products. Okay, few examples of chemical equation. One reactant and two or three product. Now this is the example where you see that one reactant is there but multiple products are there. Okay, so for example, zinc carbonate react to produce zinc oxide carbon dioxide on heating. Potassium KMnO4, potassium permanganate react to produce potassium manganate K2MnO4. Okay, and then MnO2 plus O2. Okay, so these in this reaction what we see, this is a type of reaction where one product is being decomposed, or you have seen that one reactant is changing into various product. Second, the two reactants and one product example. Here you see two reactants, they are reacting to produce one product. So this is a type of combination reaction, okay, where you see many reactant reacting to produce one product. Calcium oxide react with water to produce calcium hydroxide. So like this, okay, when more than two reactants produce one product, it is also known as synthesis reaction or combination reaction. Third is two reactant and two product. For example, here zinc plus copper sulfate react to produce zinc sulfate and copper. Lead plus copper sulfate react to produce lead sulfate and copper. Okay, so in this reaction you can see two reactants we have and producing two products. So this is a type of actually displacement reaction, right? So this is an example of displacement reaction where you see one of the element displacing other. Okay, so more reactive element displaces the less reactive one. So in this also zinc is more reactive than copper, so zinc is displacing copper from the reaction. Next, two reactant and three or four products. So here you see in this type of reaction two reactants and more than two products are there. Okay, so what did we see? We see that reactions can be of many type, chemical equation. Okay, it totally depend on how many reactant and how many products you are writing and what kind of reactant you are taking. Okay, so what will be the nature of reaction? It will totally depend on the nature of the reactant actually. Now what are the limitation of a chemical equation? Now there are some limitation of the chemical equation, but you will see nowadays we have already tried to overcome those limitations by providing more and more information in the chemical equation. But let us go through the limitation of the chemical equation. What are the limitation? First, no information is given. Now let us imagine that, see, in this equation K2CO3 plus 2HCl produces 2KCl plus H2O plus O. Now what are the information which are lacking in this? Okay, let's see. First, you see no information is given in the equation about the condition. Now what is the condition? If you write the reaction in simple way like this, okay, without mentioning any condition, that means you are lacking the condition in which this reaction has taken place. Whether you have given some heat or light or electricity, or you have used some catalyst, if you do not mention, okay, then sometimes, or if we write simply the equation in this form, then we will say that this is one of the limitations of the chemical reaction, that it is lacking the information. So what we do nowadays, we also provide whether it is taking place in the presence of heat or light or electricity, or we are using the catalyst on the arrow or below the arrow, right? Second limitation, we get no information about the accompaniments of the chemical changes such as color change, precipitation and evolution or absorption of heat, light or other form of energy. Okay. Now secondly, we do not get any information. See in this, if you look at this reaction, you will not get any information. Are you getting any information? What is the color change? No. Where is the precipitate form? Is there any precipitate form or not? Okay. Yeah. Whether some heat absorption has taken place. So what we do? So if we write the equation in this simple way, then these all information will be lacking. So nowadays we also what we do with the chemical equation, we can also mention if it is any if there any say precipitate is formed, we can write like this with a downward arrow. If we give a downward arrow to so if any precipitate is formed, okay, we can also mention the color, okay, with the reaction to make it more informative. Understood? Third, an equation gives no information about the rate of reaction and the reversibility of the reaction. Now, in this simple method of writing the equation, okay, it does not give any information about the rate of reaction. Now, student, what we understand by the rate of reaction? Rate of reaction means how fast or slow a reaction actually. Okay, that is known as rate of reaction. Whether the reaction is very slow or it is very fast. Okay, if it is fast, then how much? time it is taking. So all these things, okay, is not mentioned in this chemical equation. So that is also a limitation of the reaction. Fourth, it does not state whether or not the reaction is complete. Okay, now simply by giving an arrow, it doesn't mean the reaction has reached to the completion. Sometimes the reaction is about to reach the completion, or sometimes the reaction is half away. Okay, so these all information we do not get by a simple chemical equation. Okay, so in order to make more informative, more number of symbols has to be inserted, more information has to be inserted in a chemical reaction. Okay, now let us go through the balanced chemical equation. Now how to balance a chemical equation, right? Whenever we speak about balancing, okay, what is the first thing which should come in your mind? That you have to balance the left hand side and right hand side both. Okay, now how to balance left hand side and right hand side both? Yes, for that you need to check the number of atoms present in the left hand side. It should be equal to the number of atoms present in the right hand side. Okay, and the balancing of a chemical reaction is always done on the basis of law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass. Let me explain you through a small example this law of conservation of mass. For example, C plus O2 produces CO2. Now the atomic mass of carbon is 12 gram per mole. Okay, oxygen is 16 grams, so 16 into 2, 32 gram per mole. Okay, now what is the total? 12 plus 32 is 44. Now in this side also you see 1 carbon and 2 oxygen is there. So which means this side also we are having 44 gram per mole, 44 gram per mole both the sides. So law of mass, conservation of mass, that means the mass is conserved in both the sides. So this is one of the important point you need to keep in your mind while balancing a chemical reaction. Okay, now the number of atoms on the two sides should be equal. So whenever you balance the reaction, you should keep in your mind that the number of atoms should get balanced in both the sides. Okay, for example, now let me tell you beforehand only one thing. Okay, never do anything with this formula. Do not try to change the formula. Whatever the formula is there, let that formula be there. What you can do is that you can multiply with some number. Okay, this coefficient, this is known as coefficient. 2, 3, 4, 5, these are known as coefficient. Actually it has a name known as stoichiometric coefficient. This can give you lots of information, okay, about which we will learn in class 10. It gives us the information about mole, about the number of molecules, and as well as the other information it gives. Okay, so never try to change these number which is given in the subscript. Okay, I will not change this 2, but I will try to multiply with some number, okay, in the coefficient here in this place. Okay, never try to change the formula. If you try to change the formula, then you are changing the reaction itself. Okay, you are killing the reaction itself over there only, then it will never get balanced. Okay, so what we will do is that one of the best method to balance a chemical reaction is to follow the heat and trial method. Okay, now what is an unbalanced chemical equation? Unbalanced chemical equation means the reactions in which the equation is not balanced, that the law of conservation of mass is not obeyed. Let me show you one example. Okay, H2 plus Cl2 produces HCl. Now if I write HCl, okay, now two mistake most of the student they does. Sometimes in order to write HCl, suppose you have to make HCl, so don't write H plus Cl. No, what mistake you are doing if you are writing H plus Cl? Now while writing a chemical equation, you need to follow the elementary form of any atoms. Okay, you have to write it in the elementary form. So what is the elementary form of hydrogen? H2, not H. Hydrogen is a diatomic, right? Chlorine diatomic, so you have to write it in Cl2 form. Okay, now is it balanced? If I write it like this, it is not balanced. See, 2 hydrogen, 2 chlorine is there, but only 1 hydrogen and 1 chlorine is there. So it is an unbalanced reaction. Now another name of unbalanced chemical equation is also known as skeleton equation. It is also known as skeleton equation. Okay, so it is also known as skeleton equation. So skeleton equation means unbalanced equation. So what we have to do, if I want to balance this equation, I have to put a number over here. So I can see 2 is the common factor, so I will write 2 over here, and I will not write 2 here. No, if you are writing 2 over here, then you are changing the formula. Okay, so do not change formula, do not manipulate the formula, but what we can do is that we can just multiply with coefficient, okay, with any number to balance it. Okay, try to make it always even. Odd is very difficult to balance, so we will try to choose some such number, okay, which is even. Okay, understood? For example, A3. So what I will choose? I will either choose 2 here or 4 here to make it even. So 2 3s are 6. Now 6 we can easily distribute, right? But if I write 5 3s are 15. Odd is difficult to balance, so always try to change it into even number. Now what is this heat and trial method? Heat and trial method means you are selecting randomly, you are selecting some numbers, okay, and checking the balancing. Okay, so by putting the values here, okay, randomly you are balancing the chemical reaction. So that is known as heat and trial method. Okay, now one important thing, let me tell you here. Okay, always balance the hydrogen and oxygen at the end. First balance the other atoms. Okay, let us first balance the other atoms. Hydrogen and oxygen you will balance and them at the end. Understood? So let me discuss one example which is given here. MnO2 plus HCl produces MnCl2 H2O plus Cl2. Is it balanced? First let us see. How many atoms of manganese you can find here? 1 in the right side also. Okay, very good. How many chlorine is here? 1 chlorine, but this side you are getting 4 chlorine. See, 2 plus 2, 4 chlorine. So which means this is a skeleton reaction and this is not a balanced reaction. Yes, so we have to balance the reaction. So what we will do, first of all we will try to balance the manganese atom. Okay, because just now I said that oxygen and hydrogen we will try to balance them at the end. Okay, so first we will try to balance manganese. So 1 manganese is here, 1 manganese, so already it is balanced. So manganese atoms is already balanced. Okay, so next what we will check? We will check chlorine. Let's see whether the chlorine is balanced or not. You see chlorine, 1 chlorine is there in the left hand side, but in the right hand side we have 4 chlorine. So which means this is a skeleton reaction and chlorine is not balanced. So now let us try to balance the chlorine atom. Now tell me how many chlorine is there in the right hand side. In the right hand side just check, 2 plus 2, 4 chlorine atoms are there. Okay, so if I put 4 over here, then we will get 4 chlorine atoms this side also, left hand side. Okay, but we cannot write 4 at the bottom place, because just now I told you, if you are writing 4 here in the subscript, you are changing the formula. Yes, and we cannot change the formula while balancing a chemical reaction. Okay, that is strictly prohibited. So what we will do is here, see 4 chlorine atom we are here using, we are getting on the right hand side. So Cl2, so we will write 4 directly and check in which molecule you are getting chlorine. Multiply that molecule with 4 only, not all the molecule. Okay, so here we have multiplied HCl with 4, which means you have also increased 4 number of hydrogen atoms. Okay, understood? Now after this, once the chlorine is balanced, now let us move on to balance the oxygen and hydrogen. Let's see the oxygen. 2 oxygen is there in the left hand side and 1 oxygen is there only in the right hand side. Okay, so we have to balance this oxygen atom. So how will you balance it? Yes, now see in which side we have more oxygen atom? In the left hand side. Yes, and which side we are having deficit of oxygen atom? In the right hand side. So multiply that molecule which is carrying oxygen atom with the deficit number. So how much? We require 2, so I will write 2 over here. See, we have written 2H2O. Okay, so which means you have multiplied the entire molecule with 2 and you have increased the hydrogen atom as well over here. Okay, so we are getting 2 oxygen this side, in the right hand side. Understood? But while doing so, you have to balance the hydrogen also. Now, how many hydrogen is there in the left hand side? See, 4. How many hydrogen we are having in the right hand side now after balancing oxygen? See, 2 2s are 4. So, always multiply this number. 2 2s are 4. So, which means now we are having 4 hydrogen in the right hand side as well. Okay. After balancing the hydrogen and oxygen, finally you check whether your reaction is balanced or not. See, 1 atoms of manganese, 1 atoms of manganese in both the side. 2 atoms of oxygen, 2 atoms of oxygen in both the side. 4 hydrogen, 4 hydrogen. 4 chlorine, we are having 4 chlorine. So, finally the reaction is balanced. Okay. Let's try one more here in check your progress. Let's try one. See, it is given Pb3O4 produces, let me write the equation first, PbO plus O2. See, in this reaction we are having Pb3O4 produces PbO plus O2, right? I have to balance this. This is unbalanced reaction, so this is the skeleton reaction. Because 3 lead molecule we are having, lead atoms we are having here, and only 1 lead. So I will start balancing with the other atoms than oxygen. Oxygen will balance at the end. So 3. Let us read the multiplication of 3. 3 2s are 6. Okay. If I write 2 over here, then it will become 6. Okay. So what are the even factors we can change here? Okay, 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9, I will not take odd, 3 4s are 12, I can go for it. So either I can go for it or it. Now this is known as hit and trial method. I have to check by both. If I put 2 over here, if I put 2 over here, then 3 2s are 6 atoms of lead we are having. In that case, I have to multiply this also with 6. Now let's see whether it is balanced or not. See, if I multiply this with 2, then 6 atoms of lead and 4 2s are 8. 4 2s are 8. 8 atoms of oxygen should be there. So already 6 oxygen atom plus 2 oxygen atoms. So total 8, which means the reaction is balanced only. Okay. You can also try by this and check whether it is balanced or not. So always try to take the even multiple. Don't take the odd one, because odd one is very difficult to balance. You cannot balance only. So always go for even. Understood? So check your progress, solve this also and write it in the comment box so that I come to know that you have balanced. Okay. So solve this and write it, and if you have any doubt, any problem, you should also write it in the comment box so that I can understand and I can make video on that clarification of doubt. Okay, so watch this video, okay, and practice the balancing of equation. Okay, thank you.